So I'm going to try to manage a mic, a clicker, and 2 laptops. So bear with me. And this is also starting. Love you, Sue. Love you. I just need a minute. If I don't look at you, it's okay. So that's how I grew up. So this is, as I've told some people, me lifting the veil of my experiences and my background. So here we go. So I'd like to tell you my story. It's about reaching for and taking opportunities as they come to you. And I'm going to talk to you about seizing doors. So I started my career in education in 1988 as a long-term substitute. Yes, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel that equals retirement. If you do math, yes, she's at 30 plus. So I bounced between several districts for years before I faced my first door. I had 2 contracts. I selected the one for Hempfield School District, walked through that door, and I've never looked back. I was quickly able to put my ed tech skills to use and was selected to attend the Intensive Technology Training Program, ITTP, at IU 13. It was a precursor for what my career would eventually become. At the time, I was teaching a split schedule of life science and earth science. So science teachers, they built the labs to set up and tear down, set up and tear down. Middle school. My technology coach at the time, Jim Albright, presented this door to me. And he gave me unconditional support in integrating technology into my classroom. To give you a frame of reference, this was dial-up internet time. When we wanted to connect to National Geographic to download weather data, we had to push the cart to the office, flick a switch to switch off the phone system to what we could download, and then sometimes we forgot to flick the switch because I had kids doing it, and then it was, we couldn't get parent phone calls because we forgot to flick the switch. This was also the time of Hyper Studio and eventually Easy Grade Pro.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm with you.
Yes. Loved Easy Grade Pro. Janet Double at IU 13 presented another door to me, and I had my first experience teaching adult learners. I didn't know it at the time, but I was working on my develop pillar. Hempfield, in the mid-90s, decided to eliminate some of our tracking levels in the middle level, or tracking in the middle level for our core classes. I dove deeply into differentiated instruction and curriculum design using UVD. And a door was presented to me by my assistant superintendent at the time, Bob O'Donnell. And I was invited to join our district PD team to run 3-day professional development institutes for staff in the summer, to write PD modules, and to become a part of our district team that traveled to UVA, that's where that picture is from, to attend the Institute on Academic Diversity, which is run by Carol M. Tomlinson. The door that opened for me was to go back for several summers and be part of their Summer Institute of Academic Diversity, working with Tomlinson and her team, presenting on best practices with integrating technology. Back at Hempfield, I was a member of our technology leaders, which are teachers supporting other teachers with technology integration in the classroom. Again, Bob came knocking, opened a door, shoved me through it, and said, "You're going to become our Classrooms for the Future coach. And we're going to nominate you to be one of our 2 Keystone Technology Integrators for Hempfield in 2007. Didn't come to Summit, but I did begin my journey as a CFF coach. Through CFF, I started to meet the people, the fellow technology coaches that were doing the same work that I was doing for teachers. My Connect pillar was being formed through networking and collaborating with other districts. We planned and ran collaboration days throughout York and Lancaster County that have since turned into our elementary and secondary technology conference that's held yearly at IU13 in Lancaster County. I started to learn more about PAECT through attending meetings at P&C, but I stayed on the edge, sort of just watching from a distance, while my friends and colleagues dove headfirst. The reason I stayed on the fringe was, tell me if this doesn't sound familiar, not only do we start a new program, Classrooms for the Future, but we also decide we're going to start distance learning Chinese instruction in my district. And no one knew anything. So who dove head first? So I learned very quickly, because I was tasked with developing the structure, the protocols, training our Chinese instructor on US education, because he was new to the US. I quickly learned a lot about Polycom systems, network protocols, and the next door that appeared for me was through Magpie. Magpie is out of the University of Pennsylvania, and the acronym is the Mid-Atlantic Gigapop in Philadelphia for Internet 2. So I was selected as a Magpie Fellow, and I spent the next year learning more about Magpie, Internet 2, the infrastructure, the opportunities, and creating collaboration and virtual events for K-12 classrooms. My advocate pillar was getting a very firm foundation. As our CFF grant ended, our instructional technology team was realigned. So I moved from the high school to K-12, and then now K-8, supporting 5 buildings, about 2,700 kids, and then all of their teachers and administrators. At this time, I decided I couldn't stay on the sideline anymore for PAECT, and I was ready to be more involved. A door appeared in the form of an email asking for anyone who was interested in serving as a chair on the PAECT board. What did she do? She dove in head first. So I replied, offering to work in 2 areas. I enthusiastically walked through the door to serve as the student showcase chair and marketing chair when Scott Snyder was president of PAECT. In all my experiences to date, I gained new skills and knowledge, but it was within PAECT that I found my people who get what I do, how I think, and what are my passions. I don't mean to discount any other organization I've been involved with, and I've been involved with a lot of things throughout the years. But the members of PAECT gave me more than just ed tech support and skills. My Connect pillar was now stronger than ever. As Scott said, I was nominated for KTI in 2007, but attended Summit in 2019. Experiencing the Summit was when everything clicked for me. All of my past experiences, my PAECT family, and now my KTI family interlinked and led me to be a better technology coach, a better leader, and a better person. I asked to be part of our regional board, and then I was approached to become the assistant regional director for South Central with Verno, who was our director. When Eric moved to being the vice president, when he was elected to be vice president of PAECT, I was appointed as the South Central regional director. My friend, J.D. Redkay, who was one of my teachers that I coached and pushed her, got her nominated to be a KTI, pushed her, coached her, supported her. She turned around and said, I need you to come to Summit with me as a co-part-time person. So in 2021, that's what I did. She was not done with me. You are going to apply to be a lead learner in 2022, which I did. And this is where I am now. So that's my story. I encourage you to look for doors around you. Look for opportunities to use your talents, use your skills, to develop, advocate, lead, and connect. I was never an administrator, never any interest in being an administrator. I'm a teacher. Through KTI and PAECT, I learned the necessity and strength of leading from the middle. I'm looking for my next door. Are you?